gonna help you. What the fuck you want?
All right, guys, we are live. We're here. We're ready for another episode. And for the time being, we got things in the work, top secret, under construction. We'll see. We'll see. You guys will know when the flagship episode launches of the official renamed, revamped
Master Flex Knife
podcast. Yes, that was actually perfect. Actually, so
where?
who I got here with me? Of course, we're gonna go from left to right. We got Cosmic Kaiser 6 in the building.
Surprise, surprise, motherfucker! The king is back!
Yeah!
And then we got the homie Despair.
You.
And then, of course, we got Follow Your Dreams.
What's up, y'all?
And then we got yours truly, Super Freak 187 here. Oh man,
Funk Master Freak Night.
I'm looking at our avatars, and I just wish Despairs had the motion that the GIF has when he talks.
Oh no!
Auto
Like,
ban.
it's just so fucking good, though.
Shit.
It's
You just
so
got
good.
blooped from
You
existence.
guys
Bro,
need
I
to
love
hop
that
in our
shit. I'm
Discord.
sorry.
It's too good. I saw it this morning, and I said, "Hey,
That shit is
yo,
scary.
Professionalism out the window. I don't care.
nah,
That
man,
shit is great.
it is fantastic." Agreed. Yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know, we are in the Discord. We are going to. You guys are always welcome to join us and join our Discord, right? And you'll see this is where we record. We usually hop in for post sessions and stream it all and all that. So check out the GIF live and in person there. All right. So we got a lot. We got a lot of minor things, I guess, to talk about this week. A few
Yeah.
major things, couple major things, things left over from last time if we want to touch back on. And then, of course, we always have a bunch of. We have I feel like we have a running list of podcast conversation material, more like deep dive, something that we really need to kind of look into and brainstorm some content on. But of course, I think we could start things off with old PlayStation kind of dropping an L this week by raising the price of PS Plus.
Yeah, a few.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
But damn, man.
Yeah.
Timing. People were saying the timing is really funny because let's say they if they raised the price of PS Plus and then they had like some bomb ass game that was gonna be free, like they just dumped like 5 free fucking games or some shit that were all godlike. Well, yeah, we're raising the price though, but people wouldn't care because they'd be like, oh, well, we get all this shit for free. Nah, we got Saints Row, the Saints Row flop. Like that's your free game after the fucking price increase. What an incentive!
Standards.
Amazing.
It might be
Where the
interesting if they were getting
standards stuff, come on.
Starfield, right?
Yeah, that would be crazy, right? But that's Xbox, so we know that. If they got like, if they were to get anything that made it seem worth it, like I don't know what's going on with Sony's marketing team right now, but they're on some. I don't know. Then again, Sony's marketing's always been shit.
Yeah.
It's like a cycle, right? They do great, then they
Get cocky.
they get cocky, then they start doing stupid shit. Then somebody comes out of nowhere and humbles them real quick, right? And then it's like a cycle. It happens all over again.
Yeah. And then Sony's like, I'm sorry. We do good.
Yeah.
And then they
care
wait.
about the gamers
Is no one
now.
looking? Is no one
All that
looking?
bullshit.
Kill him.
Yeah, they apologized for the PS3. PS4 did well. Now PS5 is like the PS3 cycle all over again. So Microsoft gonna have to pull some shit out of their ass again, like they did last time, and just fucking. They need to be humble, bro. Like, it's not as bad as the PS3 era, but the decisions they're making are so stupid. Didn't they
Questionable.
when did PSVR 2 come out? Was it this year?
Yep.
Yes.
It was earlier this year.
Yeah.
So they're gonna launch. So they what the fuck? Bro, I'm actually okay. So they just launched PSVR 2 earlier this year. No marketing,
Yes.
nothing at all. Shit clearly flopped. Instant flop, right? Doesn't work on PC. Can't use it on PC. So that's like people don't think about that, but that's a lot of sales right there because people want to be able to use that shit on PC, bro. That's what the majority of the VR shit is at. It's on PC, right?
Agreed.
You have your console exclusive VR shit, but you don't. I wouldn't buy it for that. I'd buy it for if it was multi-platform, whatever. That shit. So anyway, that shit launched, flopped. So then I'm gonna segue into this fucking what the fuck is this shit called?
The Portal?
The handheld?
Portal.
Yeah,
Bro,
the PlayStation
what is going
Portal.
on? They don't market this thing. And first of all, how many people do you think know that this thing is not a legit handheld, that is only like a remote play device? How many people do you think know that?
I think there's a lot of people who don't know. Maybe that's why they're not marketing, so more people could buy it, making them fuck up.
Right? So that they don't know, so they just buy it because, oh, it's that Sony handheld. I can play all my PS5 games on, and then it's like, nope, it's just remote play. Like, which your mileage may vary if your internet connection is not good, or if you're like 80 miles away from your fucking console. Your console's in the living room, you're in a basement somewhere. Like, I don't understand it. I'm trying to understand what Sony's like thought process is behind this stuff that they've done this year, and I just don't get it. I don't understand. What's coming out on PS5 this year that's exclusive? Anything end of this year? Spider-Man besides Spider-Man? That's it, right?
Besides Spider, they got all their eggs in one basket. That's a dangerous place to be.
What else came out that's exclusive?
Final Fantasy 16
Final
for
Fantasy
now.
doesn't count.
That's it.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
God of War, technically.
God of War was last year.
That was last year, yeah.
Was it? Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So what was this year besides FF? Because that doesn't count to me.
For
I mean, like first
DLC?
party stuff. DLC don't count.
I know.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
Spider-Man, right? It's just Spider-Man, right?
It's just Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yep.
Don't believe they have any
So
other
basically, I have nothing else. Basically, that's all I needed to say. Like, I don't understand. I'm trying to understand what they're thinking, and I feel like they just do the same things over and over again. It's like they feel like everything is working out for them, and they could just do no wrong, right? Everyone's just gonna buy their shit because it has Sony on it. But it's like my thing about it is they don't learn from like all their other. Sony just doesn't learn from all their other divisions, right? I feel like Sony looks at PlayStation now as this juggernaut because you know PlayStation makes them a lot of fucking money now, right? So isn't that their most lucrative thing? Their most lucrative division is the fucking PlayStation?
No, I think it's still their cameras.
Is it really? I don't know.
I think it's either
PlayStation's
their
a pretty significant part of their fucking
or
it's definitely not their phones.
Not their phones. Yeah, no.
Maybe you might be right,
I
but
think it's something
like
part of their electronic divisions. Maybe I would
this
say
is like a Sony problem, right? Like Sony does this with everything that they fucking make. They don't market shit. Like I feel like the only reason Sony cameras are as relevant as they are is because word of mouth. Content creators talk about them all the fucking time, right? Sony cameras have been the thing for a while, right? It's like when you think of cameras, you just think of what Sony, Canon, fucking whatever the fuck. Like you just think of the same names all the time, right? That's the only reason why Sony solidified in that division is because they've just been there the entire time.
I looked it up. As of 2022, Sony's gaming and network services has become its highest earner.
Okay, yeah, that's what yeah.
That's
crazy, right?
But that's as of last year. That hasn't
crazy,
been that
though,
long,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like I feel like Sony knows that now, and now they're gonna start doing the same shit that they've done to all the other divisions, bro. Like, they're just gonna be like, okay, let's use the Sony name. Like, bro, hold on, they're making the PlayStation's like a brand for them now, right? Like they're making PlayStation earbuds, PlayStation
monitors. They had the monitors, the earbuds.
Yeah, they just announced it like a couple months ago. Where they have like this whole brand of like peripherals and shit that they're making now. That
because of the 3D audio thing, right?
Yeah,
that 3D audio bullshit.
Let me find it.
Hey, also while you're looking that up, I just want to go real quick. I just want to tell you how much the price increase was, because so for the PlayStation Plus 12-month, like the regular basic bullshit, it's $80 US dollars from
that's up
I
from
think
what, like 50, 60?
60?
Yeah.
60, I believe.
Think it was 60.
So not only it's not like a quick $5, 10. That's like a $20 increase.
Jump,
that's a major, I don't get it. That's a major decision. So the PlayStation Plus is $134, which makes no sense to me. And then the premium is $160 US.
Yeah, you know why I'm gonna buy that. I'm not saying it, but I don't think I've ever bought PS Plus for full price because
but
there are
think
other means, but
I think it's super annoying for people who bought PS5s who just want to play online, have to do 80 instead of the 60. That's like crazy.
Let's be real, right? We saw this shit coming from remember when PlayStation Plus was free? Y'all remember that shit? Remember those days?
Oh my god, yeah.
I barely remember those days.
The days when it first dropped.
PS3, PS Plus
PS3
started charging when PS4 launched.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was on PS3 that they started charging.
Nope. They started charging when PS4 launched because they were like, we need to compete with Xbox
Yeah,
Live servers and all that
the
stuff.
launch was also, they weren't really established, so it wasn't as comprehensive as an online service as Xbox Live was, so they gave it away for free. And then once they started to release the PS4, their infrastructure was a lot better, so they decided to start charging for it.
Just remember something. This is, we can go back on topic after this, but I forgot the only reason why PS Plus was even free in the first place was because they were trying to get in good graces after the PSN outage. Because they were giving away, remember they were trying to give away free shit.
Oh my god,
they were like,
we're
gonna give away free shit because you be fucked up, blah blah blah. We're gonna give this away for free, do this and do that. That was the only reason why we even had that shit in the first place. So it's kind of funny that they started charging for it. Fucking, they're raising the price now, and it's like, do y'all really need to raise? Do they really need to raise the price of PS Plus?
No, they don't. Like, it's just nothing but like corporate greed at this point, because it's like they're acting like they're on top of the thing, and it was kind of like a conversation we had a couple of weeks ago where, you know, people are like, "Oh, Xbox is in the bottom of the barrel." I'm like, no, Xbox is making some huge moves.
Bro, so Starfield launched. Well, Starfield basically just launched, right? And last week, I don't know if y'all were on Twitter seeing the Starfield shit. I had to mute Starfield because it was literally just people just complaining. It was the people that don't have an Xbox probably, right? So they see clips and they just start complaining about shit. And they're like, oh man, this game looks mid, blah, blah, blah. Xbox, another Xbox flop. I'm like, I don't think they give a fuck. Like,
it's the, what is it called? It's the,
I hear the game is great.
The downvoters,
right?
the review bombers.
Like,
it reminds me, I saw a funny fucking tweet where someone was just like, that some dude showed his friend screenshots of Starfield. I'm doing air quotes. They were actual pictures of a Mars landing or something like that. And he said, it looks like graphics look mid.
Wow. Yeah, graphics look mid. Damn, life is just mid for you then. That guy's imagination is just, that's a boring motherfucker. All he sees is black and white. That's crazy.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
the man season, I don't know. I don't get it.
But all I see is just Xbox just having these building blocks, and then like they keep making mistakes like this. They're gonna have to be, you know, because like they don't even have any good games out. Like nothing's justifying.
Again, like everyone should shit on fucking Microsoft during the Xbox One stuff, rightfully so, right? They did some stupid shit, but like you said, they've just been laying down bricks and just laying down like these building blocks things that, where if they wanted to dominate the gaming space, they could absolutely do it. They could buy up everything if they wanted to, right? Sony would be like, oh my god, they would try to punch back like they're being bullied or some shit like that, but they'd be like, oh my god, Microsoft buying up everything, blah blah blah. Like they tried to make themselves feel like this little innocent fucking, they're being bullied by these fucking mega corporations and shit like that. Sony doesn't have Microsoft money, blah blah blah. But then you do all this stupid shit. Like, I just looked it up. They're rebranding all the PlayStation accessories. Like they're gonna have like the PlayStation earbuds, the Project Q, whatever that stupid handheld is, fucking the patented 3D audio stuff. And it's like, bro, nobody give a fuck. Like, if I'm gonna buy Sony headphones, I'm gonna go buy the good like XM, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking earbuds that I know are godlike. I'm not gonna buy these fucking PlayStation branded earbuds unless they merged all that shit into the PlayStation branded earbuds, which I feel like they're trying to do, right? Because how many people recognize the PlayStation name at this point? A lot of motherfuckers, right? So if they wanted to rebrand everything and just call it PlayStation, like PlayStation earbuds, PlayStation this, PlayStation that, it would work, right?
Yeah.
But who cares right now? What do we need? You can barely even, people apparently still can't find PS5s, right? Like we're still dealing with the COVID ramifications, right? So it's like, COVID is over, right? Like we accepted this stuff during COVID, right? Because we knew what was going on. There were shortages everywhere. Prices had to increase. Like all this stuff had to happen, right? But COVID is basically over. What's happening now? Like we're not seeing anything like change. Nothing is like getting better in terms of like business, right? What are they doing? Like,
okay, I'll explain right now. Is that companies were able to get away with a lot of shit during the COVID era, and they still want to kind of get away with. They want to continue getting away with that shit, just as long as they can.
We can cut corners here. We can cut corners there. Let's just keep doing it. Yeah.
Exactly, and they just hope that no one notices, right? No one.
And the sad part is,
a lot of people don't.
1% of people are like us, but we do notice it. 99% are not gonna care. They're not gonna notice. They're like, oh, prices went up. Damn, that sucks. And go do whatever anyway. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, prices increase, we still gonna be buying shit anyway, right? Like, bro, games could go up $10 again. I'd still buy games, right? It would suck dick, but I'd still be buying the games though, right? Like,
I mean, but it really depends, right? Because what makes you buy all those things is the games, right? And what the fuck have we gotten? Like, I'm still trying to justify myself getting a PS5. I'm like totally content. I'm so glad I didn't get it when I was hyped for it.
Could you imagine if you bought a PSVR 2?
Oh,
and could you imagine if you buy like this PlayStation handheld? Like, because PlayStation Plus, so to bring it back, right? PlayStation Plus was always considered amazing because of the value, right? Like, we got like crazy ass free shit, right? We got what did we get? We got free stuff. We got discounts on DLC. We got whatever, the online play, whatever the fuck.
You got the Call of Duty stuff first, I think.
Yeah. So I'm trying to nowadays, you already know the direct comparison is always going to be Game Pass, right? Whether you're using it to play on Xbox Live or if you're just using it on PC, whatever, right? The comparison is always going to be Game Pass because that's just what it is. So I'm trying to understand the value of PlayStation Plus with the price increase versus Game Pass, and it's like it's night and fucking day,
right?
Because Game Pass gives you all this shit. Game Pass has the cloud gaming, right? Game Pass has all those other perks that people probably don't even realize. Like, they have a bunch of shit where you can get stuff for free. Like, I remember I got what the fuck was it? Shit. I got some stuff in like a whole bunch of other games I got for free or whatever. I got like free memberships in like Elder Scrolls Online or all this shit. It was a bunch of random shit that you get, right? I know one of my boys got a year of Discord Nitro off of that, just from having like Game Pass Ultimate or whatever, right? Like, that shit like that is cool, right? And that's value outside of just, getting the free games on that stuff. You get a lot of shit. Then you look at PlayStation Plus, you get what? You get. Didn't they drop it down to one free game a month or something like that? It's not even two anymore, right?
Wait.
It's still 2 free games, and it's sometimes
wait.
It's still 2? Okay.
Can someone clarify? Does the basic thing still get free games, or is that just
the
premium?
It does. But the premium stuff gets the the
they get the access to the
classics, all that
to the PS classics and shit. Yeah.
And I say this every time we bring stuff like this up. I really want to be a fly on the wall, bro, in these fucking conferences, in these boardroom meetings, where there's nobody saying we should bundle in PlayStation Now and all these other games into just wait a minute, hold on a second. So what PlayStation Plus, which tier are the prices going up for every tier?
Yes.
Every tier is getting an increase. Yes,
that's what I was saying. Remember, the original basic one was 60. It's going up to 80 just to play online, basically.
So what's the premium price going to be now for the top the highest tier?
He said 160.
The top one is like
$160 for 12 months.
Premium one?
Yep.
For 12 months.
Yep.
$160 for 12 months.
Fucking
bro,
laugh.
I'm like, what?
And that's a huge amount.
Yo,
like,
can we get prices for Game Pass right now? Xbox Live? What is it? Is it Xbox Live Ultimate, Xbox Live Gold or whatever?
The regular one, the regular PC one is $10.
Ultimate is 15, right?
Ultimate is 16.
Because Ultimate would be the comparison, I guess, to premium, right? So $15.
So 16 times 10, 160.
16, yeah. I mean, it's the same.
So they're the same price.
The same
but
price.
One completely dwarfs the other. That's ridiculous, man.
Yes. I think it mostly comes down to just like what's the value that you're getting for what you're paying, right? And for right now for PlayStation, it's not there.
It's been getting lower and lower every few months. Every year it seems like PS Plus, the value just disappears. Because remember, like, that was the thing. Everyone was like, PlayStation Plus is so much better than Xbox because we get this free shit, we do this. Then Game Pass dropped, and it's like, damn, Sony's like not even trying to compete with it.
Right. And then they don't even have like equivalent games. Like this week, I'm playing Sea of Stars. Next week, I'm playing Starfield. I don't even.
Bro, every game that's coming out this month, I'm playing on Game Pass. I'm playing Starfield. I'm playing Lies of P. I'm playing Party Animals. I'm playing I'm gonna play Sea of Stars too, bro. Everything coming out this month is on Game Pass, bro. Hello?
Yeah.
That's crazy that all the hype games that I want this month are on Game Pass, bro. I was like, damn, I'm about to spend hella money buying like 5-6 games this month. Then I looked and I was like, oh shit, wait, they're on Game Pass.
Yeah,
like I can still buy like 1 or 2 of them if I feel like it, but I don't have to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I could beat it and be done with it and just move on to something else. That's crazy to me.
Right. And the greatest thing is like, even if it's the greatest thing for something you're on the fence on, like you kind of want to try it, but you don't want to, drop that.
That's like Starfield. Like,
and okay, so shit. I no longer have to pay $1 for the game. I'm paying like my monthly dues at this point, right? But like, I don't even care because every time I'm like, dude, I don't even use this for like, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months out of the year. Just a couple of games, even if it's like 3 or 4 games that I play a year that I don't spend $60 for, it's worth it.
Yep. Oh, bro, I saw somebody last week on Twitter. Oh my god, I this shit makes me so mad. I saw somebody on Twitter because you know how Xbox Game Pass has sometimes they have the shit where you can get it for $1 or whatever.
Yes.
Like obviously, a big game is coming out, right? Starfield is dropping on Game Pass, right? So they strategically, they smartly got rid of the $1 shit, right? So you gotta pay. Like, so that they did that because they know a shit ton of people are gonna get Game Pass to play Starfield. So that was smart, right? That's
I'm
not
okay
that
with
big
that,
of a deal.
That's fine.
But people were like, man, Microsoft's so fucking greedy, bro. This shit is so trash. I'm like, how are you saying this in the same week that we just got to increase the PS Plus?
A $20 increase.
That doesn't even
a $20 PS Plus increase.
I want to hear their retort to that.
It's just, I
like,
just
how
don't
does that
understand.
make sense? Like,
because the thing is,
I love Sony, bro. Like, I love PlayStation. Like, I love that they got all the exclusive RPGs. They got all the shit that I want to play, right? But we live in an era now where everything is on PC too. So it's like, it's like, what the fuck? I don't know.
I just feel like executives, like they're cool, and then they get off their meds for like a couple of months, and then like
I don't know, man. I feel like they get the checks flashing in their face, bro. That's all that happens.
PlayStation Plus still has the problem where you only have limited access to these games in the month that they're available. So if you don't have PlayStation Plus when these games are available and offered, if you don't add them to your library, then that offer is off the table and gone. Whereas for Game Pass, there's some games that they remove. But
that's
you
the
have
argument.
retroactive
Like, they remove
library.
them occasionally,
They remove them occasionally, but you still have a massive library that you have access to.
If you wanted to play it, you have the time to play before they remove it.
Exactly. You have a gigantic library that you have just gained access to by getting the base level of Game Pass. Where for PlayStation Plus, you're waiting month to month to see what games they decide, and usually the offerings have been meager for the past six months to a year. I'm sure.
Let me ask you guys a question. When was the last PlayStation Plus game that was added for free that you were like, oh my god, yes, dude, blah blah blah? You know what I mean?
See, I'm just gonna be honest, right? I'm that person. Obviously, I'm in that percentage of people that if most of the time that there's a PS Plus game out that's free, I probably already bought it when it was like not free. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I usually buy whatever the fuck is relevant or whatever I want to play most of the time. That's why, like, I get hella mad when there's everyone's like, yeah, Steam summer sale, Steam sale. I'm like, fuck, I already got everything, bro. Like, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like the PS Plus free games, unless it's something like, what's a good example? What was that game that came out that we were all hyped for PS5 launch? The Twisted Metal little ripoff game that ended up dying. What was that game?
I forgot the name.
What was the name of it? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. I do know what you're talking
Destruction
about.
All-Stars.
Destruction
All-Stars.
Right? That was a PS Plus game, right? Or am I bugging?
Yes, technically. Yes. Yes.
So when it's stuff like that, where it launches and it's on PS Plus, that's cool, right? But normally when they release a game that comes out like a year later on PS Plus, I've already played it. Like FF7, remember? I thought that was, look, I already had the game, but I thought that was cool as fuck, right? When they gave that away, I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. They gave away FF7 Remake for free. They gave away Crash Bandicoot 4 for free, even though I already bought the game, right? I thought stuff like that was cool. Obviously, it doesn't apply to me, but like stuff like that, I think is dope. But like, I think like the point I'm trying to make is I don't really get that hype over PS Plus releases, right? Because normally they're like what, a year later. Like Saints Row is cool because I didn't want to buy the game because it looks meh to me, right? But I still want to try it. So it's cool that it's there if I want to try it. But guess what? I haven't renewed my PS Plus because I don't even use my PS5 anymore. So I'm not gonna get that. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm not gonna renew my PS Plus just to get that game.
Right.
Like,
and you know what?
Yeah.
The other thing is, if you didn't need PS Plus to play online, how many people would actually buy that shit?
No, listen. If PS Plus was still free, I would not be paying for it. Bro, listen, bro. I turned on my PS5. Right? And what did I try to do? I tried to play something. I don't remember what it was. Oh, I re-downloaded Bloodborne, which is like, random, right? Like I re-downloaded Bloodborne, old ass game, right?
Knowing you, it's not random.
Yeah, knowing me, it's not random, but still, like I cut the game on. And you know what message I got? The shit said online functionality limited because you don't have a PS Plus subscription. Bro, I haven't seen that in years because I was on top of it. But then I saw that and I was like, damn, I forgot you had to pay for this shit. Like I forgot you had to pay to play shit online on this fucking console, bro. Like, and the fact that we're all on PC, right? We don't have to pay a sub to play online on PC. So you think about it, and it's like Xbox Live. What is it? It's Xbox Game Pass Ultimate gives you Xbox Live. If you have an Xbox, it gives you Xbox Live, right? And you get Game Pass on Xbox and PC for if you're sub to Xbox Live Ultimate, right? So and that's $15. Like
two consoles. Think about it, two consoles technically.
Yeah. So and the PC version, you don't have to pay to play those games online, right? So we kind of don't even think about having to pay to play shit. Like, oh man, my PS Plus about to run out, man. I can't play online, bro. I can't play COD. You know what I'm saying? I remember those days. I used to be like, man, my Xbox Live about to run out, bro. Fuck, let me go find the 3-month and fucking all that bullshit, right? but it's like
run to the Rite Aid real quick and get a 3-month.
I don't think anybody would pay for this shit if we didn't need it to play online.
Right. Whereas people would pay for the Game Pass.
People would, yeah, absolutely. Like that's value, bro. Like I'm as we've been talking, I'm just been trying to think.
The offerings are just so
the
meager.
value of this thing. Even before the price increased, it was very minimal fucking value.
It's also let's say you don't purchase a lot of games, right? Like you're not the one that's purchasing the games when they release, so that when they're announced on PS Plus, you don't own them. So you're like, oh, cool, I'm gonna get that game. The problem is, I think they're just so. The problem with PS Plus is that they're releasing them like months to years down the line, whereas they're releasing on Game Pass, right? Like, and that's the thing, like, because I'm looking at the PlayStation Plus games that were offered just this year from January, right? Because what they do is they do offer 2 games, and then they'll have another for another platform, so for like VR, Vita, or whatever, like shit like that. Sometimes, still, so for January it was Axiom Verge 2, Fallout 76,
come on,
Jedi Fallen Order.
That's not.
How long ago did Jedi Fallen Order come out? Anyway,
last year.
All right. February.
This time last, like it came out this March last year, April last year. Wait, no, that was this year, wasn't it?
No,
it came out this year, but we forgot about it because the performance sucks. We forgot that game came out this year, bro.
That's Survivor. This is the previous.
Yeah, Survivor's the new one. Fallen Order was 2019. Yeah, Fallen Order was 2019.
What? But that was like 80 years ago. Oh my god.
Yes, so, that's like an example.
Now February was Destiny 2 Beyond Light DLC
There's
only.
No way that they said Fallen Order. There's no fucking way.
Evil Dead the game and Mafia the Definitive Edition.
Mafia?
And Ollie World. Yeah.
Bro, Fallen Order. I can't get over this.
March. Hold on, it gets better. March.
$135, by the way.
March is this is the base version because these are just the free games. Battlefield 2042.
Come on, man.
Code Vein. No. That's a good game. All right. Minecraft Dungeons.
That game came out 80 years ago.
Yeah, that's mostly my point. Like look at the release date of these games.
Like think about it. If FF16 dropped and that shit was free with PlayStation Plus Premium, whatever the fuck, right? That would be fire, right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man drop, you get that shit if you pay if you got PS Plus or whatever. Cool, right? But I remember not too long ago, Sony was like, nah, it would devalue our games or some shit, right? If we made them free on PS Plus. And I'm like,
how?
Y'all don't seem to, because they don't want to pay money. They don't want to pay the money up front to the devs, right? To put their money on fucking on whatever it is. He said that's how it works. Like, obviously, Xbox got to pay the devs a certain amount that will probably offset how much they would have made in sales or whatever, right? They got to pay them a certain amount to have that shit on Game Pass. So, Sony doesn't want to do that shit. Sony went up in arms. Sony fucking, aren't they the ones that said nah to the Xbox? They were like, yeah, Xbox wanted to make a deal with them for Call of Duty or something. Like, what was it? It was something.
So Xbox was gonna buy Activision, and Sony was like, hell nah, bro, no, because Call of Duty is a big deal, and they had to renegotiate the whole deal. We were covering it for a minute.
But there was something that they wanted from Sony specifically, and Sony was like, no, and then they went and did something anyway. I don't remember what it was, but either way, it's just kind of showing like how ridiculous like things are at Sony, and I'm still trying to understand, like, how do you say that you lose value? You don't necessarily see. Here's the thing, right? I feel like you do kind of lose value in the short term, right? Like, yeah, that game you put on PS Plus might not make as much money as it would have if it wasn't there, but then the incentive is there and it gets people interested in the actual sub, right? Like, I remember when Xbox Game Pass first came out, it had I think it was Gears Ultimate. I think it was either Gears Ultimate or Gears 4, probably both. And I remember I didn't really know what Game Pass was at the time, and I was like, man, that shit sounds kind of man. I don't want to pay for that shit again, right? And then they were like, nah, Gears 4 at launch, if you have Game Pass, you can play this shit, the entire game, no bullshit, right? Online, everything. You can play this if you're sub to Game Pass. And I was like, oh shit, okay. And then from that point on, moving forward, I always looked at, let's see what's on Game Pass now. Oh, I wonder should I cancel my sub? Should I renew my sub? Right? It had me interested in it, right? So yeah, you lose that short-term value, but in the long term, like, having people, more and more people interested in it is more important than just, oh yeah, I'm not gonna make as much money off of this game as I would have normally. And I feel like that's what Sony's thinking about. They're like, yeah, man, if we put Spider-Man on PS Plus, it's not gonna make the kind of money we wanted to make or whatever. And I'm like, that's Sony being Sony. That's Sony being the Sony that we knew back in PS3 era, right? Where they're just greedy. They're not thinking. They're not really thinking about. Well, I'm not gonna say any of these corporations are really thinking about gamers, but
no, and like, none of them are. But I will say, and then from the viewpoint of someone, I probably wouldn't. So I bought the Game Pass when it had that $1 sale. You know what I mean? Yeah. So to try it, right? And I probably, had I not tried it, I probably wouldn't be paying for it. So in the long run, them baiting me with the $1.
Exactly.
I ended up giving them 100 at this point.
And it was probably right before some godlike game was put on there, right? Like, you got the fucking, you paid $1 for it, and you got to play whatever game that they fucking. They always do that shit. They used to do this a lot, where they would be like, Xbox Game Pass $1 right before they put something crazy on there. Like, that's how I got Gears. I was like, oh, this is $1. Oh, shit. And then Gears dropped, and I was like, oh shit.
They've had me as a Game Pass member since Gears 5.
Yeah. Like, those are the main things I remember. Gears, like the Halo Infinite campaign, I got to get to play that shit for free on Game Pass. Like, it's like, man, this stuff some stuff that I wouldn't even normally have played is on Game Pass that I was hyped up. It was on there. Like, I've always wanted to play shit like Dead Cells, right? But I didn't want to buy it at the time.
Yeah.
And then I looked on Game Pass, and I was like, oh shit, Dead Cells on Game Pass. What the fuck? Right? Like, imagine if they put Call of Duty on Game Pass, which is rumored to happen, right? Bro, that would be crazy. Man. Like,
for $10, you just have your auto Call of Duty, or you can pay like $80 to buy it on PlayStation if you want to. Even though they're
right, exactly. Like, am I gonna fucking pay for Game Pass? Or am I gonna fucking pay PlayStation Plus subscription plus the game? Get the fuck out of here! Like,
because you know they're not gonna put Call of Duty on the basic one, right? They're gonna put Call of Duty on the ultimate SMD tier, which is 160.
I don't get it, bro.
Aren't they supposed to be releasing games like Game Pass to the higher tier of PlayStation Plus? Like, wasn't that part of the discussion of why they were splitting it to 3 tiers initially?
They never actually went and said that that's what they were going to do. But they started by doing that. They had games like remember Horizon Zero Dawn? They put on not Zero Dawn, whatever the second one was, Forbidden West. Yes. They had that on there. I don't remember if it was at launch. I don't believe it was. but they do have some stuff on there, but it's minimal. Like, and they still have that same issue where it's available like 80 years after it's relevant. Like, I don't care about Horizon Forbidden West being on there when basically I can probably get the game for the same price as that subscription right now. Hello?
Yeah, you're not wrong. And then here's the other thing too, is shit, I lost my thought.
Just like my PlayStation Plus sub is getting lost.
Sony, I feel like they stopped. I don't know, because I look at Nintendo on the side, right, and I feel like Sony is trying to take a page out of Nintendo's book and like making their own decisions and trying to act like they're doing their own thing. And it's like, bro, nobody cares if PS4 and fucking Xbox are the same, PS5 and the Xbox, whatever the hell it is, are the same. With the only difference is exclusive. Like, nobody really cares. At the end of the day. But I want to see whichever. Obviously, I'm the person that's probably gonna buy both if there's a reason for me to buy both. There's no reason for me to buy both anymore because I have a PC, right? Everything on Xbox is on PC for the most part. So it's like, if I was, let's say, let's go back before I played on PC, right? The majority of the time, I would buy a console depending on, one, obviously where my friends are at, and two, what has the most interesting games in that period where I'm hyped, in that launch period, right? And over the past, like, maybe a couple generations, there haven't even really been any fucking launch games that have been like, oh man, I gotta get this console, bro. I gotta get a PS5 for this game. I mean, obviously I had to get it for Demon's Souls because that's just, that's my shit. But I didn't need to get that. That wasn't like, oh shit, I gotta get a PS5 to play Demon's Souls. Oh shit. Yeah. Ratchet and Clank was a different story. I would have gotten a PS5 for that. Yeah, but that wasn't a launch game.
Yeah, but for me, it would have been like a new Metal Gear Solid, because that's what got me the PS3. And then
FF16, right?
Yeah,
that's what would have did it for me.
That, and then also to bring up the point that I lost my thought on was that, so they're raising these prices, right? But then they're flopping with the VR and they're flopping this, so they kind of have backwards thinking of raising these prices. Do you think they're raising these prices because they know those two products are going to flop and they just trying to recoup cost, or?
I don't know. Like, they're always trying to do something, and it's hard for me to wrap my head around it. And because this remote play handheld doesn't need to exist at all. It does not need to exist. Nope. PSVR 2 did not need to exist right now, right? Where there's no, come on, man, there's no demand for VR shit right now. Like, back when it was a thing and people cared, it still wasn't even that big of a deal because the shits were too expensive and nobody really cared to buy them, right? So I feel like, who are you selling these things to? Like, it can't be them trying to recoup costs by raising the price. What was it? Like, I don't even remember what the fucking price is anymore. It's so stupid to me. I'm not even thinking about it. But I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they're just doing shit to see what sticks. I think they're just throwing shit at the wall to see what the fuck works. Like, what? I don't understand. I've been thinking this whole time, who is this handheld for, bro? Because first of all, it's not like a Switch, right? Where you can take that shit out the dock and go to another fucking country and still play that shit, right? It's not like, yo, this remote play thing is basically the fucking Wii U fucking gamepad, bro. That's what it is. Like, how are you gonna use that shit not outside of your fucking network? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So what's the point? Bro, you can fucking remote play. There's a remote play app on TVs. There's a remote play app on PC. You can just get that shit on a laptop or something. There's probably a remote play app on a Steam Deck or some shit, right? So it's like, what is the point of that shit? What? And how much is it? Like $299?
$200.
How
much
is that crazy? Shit?
It's
bro, that's the price of a Switch.
Yeah.
Nigga, what? Why would I pay for that when I could go get a Switch or Steam Deck and put remote play on that shit?
Yeah,
bro,
and it probably runs better too.
And then you look at it, and it's literally a PS5 controller cut in half with a screen
with
in the
phone.
What is that? Like, there's no. The design isn't even attractive. It's just a DualSense 5 cut in half. What?
This has to have been some Japan only thing, and then they decided to like release it worldwide, because I don't understand.
I don't think so. I feel like this thing has probably been like on the back burner for a long time, right? and it was probably more ambitious than this. They probably wanted to make a handheld, an actual dedicated handheld, right? And then somebody at Sony was probably like, yeah, we can't really do that right now, COVID, blah blah blah. And then they made this crap. Like, so I don't know. I feel like it was supposed to be something more, but Sony being Sony, they were like, nah, fuck that shit. Let's just give them whatever the fuck we want to give them. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I think it is going to find a niche audience, but not the one that they expected. I think you
don't want a niche audience for a product that costs $399. Unless
it's $200. Absolutely it's nothing not $399. It's $200.
Oh, $299. Wait, it's not.
No, not $299. Okay, $200. Just flat $200. So it's not outrageously priced. I think it's just like who is it for, right? Like, and it's just like for a really small market of people who just have that ability to be able to stream from another room.
A small market that's part of an even smaller market because you still need a PS5 though.
But here's where I think they're going to find a market. They're going to, because it's they've already revealed in the testings and things that it runs on Android.
Android, yeah.
It's going to find a market in people that are just going to buy this and hack it, and they're going to break it, and they're going to run emulators on it, and it's going to become there are people who buy $160 to $200 and plus Amber Nicks on fucking Temu and all those other sites. Every month a new one comes out and people are buying them, and this is potentially going to be one of those things on how easy it can be hacked and run as a travel size emulator for those who are enthusiasts, basically. So it will sell in that regard because people are going to buy it.
It's look, I think you're overestimating how many people that is that are going to do that are going to actually take the time to hack the handheld.
I didn't say it was a big market.
First of all,
just said it's a market.
Yeah, buy it. First of all, right? Go through the means of figuring out how to hack it, right? Because you have to think about it. I don't think this is going to sell to anybody knowledgeable about how this stuff works. It's going to sell to, it's a very, very small minority of people that are going to buy it with the intention of hacking it, right? If they already, like, a lot of people have things already, then they decide, okay, they want to hack it, and later when they find like no use for it anymore, whatever, like the Switch, right? I've had my Switch forever. I finally decided to hack it because what the fuck else am I gonna do with it? Why not, right? I feel like even that isn't a minority of people. We know how many people have a Switch. I feel like people that had their Switch hacked is a very small minority of people. It can be. I wouldn't call that a market. I wouldn't classify that as a market. It's definitely not a market big enough to appeal to Sony's standards, right? They're not gonna be like, oh man, a bunch of like a few thousand people bought our console and hacked it, and we're proud of that. Like, yeah, it sold really well. It's not gonna happen. Like, because you have to think about it. First of all, if you want to use it for its basic functionality, you need a PS5, bro. Which, first of all, apparently you still can't find. And the price is how much for PS5? I don't even know how much it is anymore. Like, it's 400, 500 or something like that. How much is it? How much is the PS5 now?
It's a good question. Because I
5?
think they raised it in all markets outside the U.S. too. That's
the Slim is dropping too, isn't it? We're pretty sure the Slim is dropping this year, right? Did they announce it already? I don't even, bro. I don't keep up with this shit anymore. I don't keep up with consoles anymore because PC is just like, you know what I mean?
$499 for the disc.
$499. That's the highest one, right?
Yes.
That's the highest price one. So you got to spend $499, and then $200 extra for that functionality, bro. When you can barely even find a PS5 in the first place.
When you can do it on your phone if you own one.
Exactly. Who doesn't own a phone? You know what I'm saying? Well, don't answer that. But like, let's be real. The majority of people have a phone, right? That they can use remote play on. I have a boy that uses, he don't even have a PS5, but he bought a DualSense, has that paired up with his phone, and he uses that for, I don't even know what he uses it for, but he uses it, right? So I don't even know what this is for. I don't like, they're gonna, I want to see, first of all, I want to see how well PSVR 2 did. And then once this thing comes out, I want to see how well this does by this time next year. Because man, I'm just gonna laugh. We're gonna be sitting here and we're gonna talk about that shit. I'm just gonna laugh, like, because I don't get it. Because stuff like that. Because I want to know. First of all, I want to know how much it costs to manufacture that thing. That's what I want to know.
Enough. It must cost enough.
What's the screen? What's the screen like? I need to
no
do more
idea.
research into that.
I haven't
Like, is
looked
that
into
the
it yet.
OLED
I think
screen?
people are
Is
just.
it
This is like the kind of people are just getting their hands on it now. So I think there's gonna be more
What's
deep
it
dives
called?
in
Portal?
PlayStation Portal.
PlayStation Portal. I want to see what kind of screen this thing has. I want to know if,
I think it's an OLED.
because if it has an OLED screen, like
LCD screen.
okay, okay, good,
1080p,
good. They're smart. They're
60
smart. Good.
FPS.
But they're smart. They didn't go that far. Okay. At least someone has brain cells at Sony. With if they put an OLED screen on that thing, bro, I would have been like, y'all are crazy, man. Nobody's buying this thing. Like, and it's more so annoying for me because I'm disappointed because I'm a proud Vita owner, and I love that thing. Like, obviously it flopped, but that thing was amazing. And I was thinking, remember when the rumors started? They were like, "Oh man, Sony wants to enter the handheld business again. We might get a new Vita 2 or whatever the hell they want to call it to compete with the new Switch, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, then we saw this, and I was like, "What?"
I mean, you can't even consider this a handheld.
It's not. It's I don't know.
It's not. So
then you couple that with the increase of PlayStation Plus, with the fact that the PS Plus games coming out are going to be trash. Like nobody really cares. All these new games are launching on Game Pass, and then like all your competitors. And you know what made me think about? Remember when Nintendo announced that they were going to start charging for their online? Remember that? And everybody was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this!" And then we realized it was like $2 or something like that. It wasn't even that big of a deal.
They did raise prices, didn't they?
Yeah,
like 12? I think it's 12 now.
Yeah, but let's be real.
It's still
120.
Still minor.
But
Nintendo
I
Online,
will,
really?
but you know what though? I still give Nintendo shit to this day for like paying us for like the SNES library, blah blah blah, and then the lack of games that they have on those consoles is
true.
like complete 100% ass, and I will never let them slip on that.
Well, I don't even mean I don't mean that sub with the with the online games or whatever. I just mean the base sub that
Just
plays
the base
online.
online at all.
Yeah. I think it's still 12 a month or something.
I think it's no, I think it's 20 for the year.
Yeah, it's not 12.
Oh, 20 for the year. What is it?
Yeah, it's hella cheap. Yeah.
I just have it on the auto pay, so I forget.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know it's cheap. I know it was funny when it came out. I just know it was funny when they announced that and they made a big deal, and then they announced the price. They're like, "Oh, okay, oh shit, never mind."
You know what though? Nintendo does have that on the low end because I think they don't want the consumer to have online expectations. Like for example, Super Mario Wonder, how there's no fucking online co-op.
Yeah, like if they made it too expensive, they'd be like, "What are we paying for, man?" Like that's like
exactly
right now. Like
so that's why they could let these co-op games exist without online, right? So people won't complain. Even though I don't know, maybe it's 2023, maybe it's time to get into it and just establish it.
I can't believe some of these games launch with no online.
Especially a co-op game, bro. Like at this point of age, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like Nintendo's always been so far behind the wall in this aspect since what 2000, and like there's no excuse for it anymore, bro. It's like, bro, I want to be able to play with my friends all over the world, and how you guys have the shittiest online in the world, you don't even try.
Yeah, only online they care about is Smash and Mario Kart, to be honest. I mean, rightfully so.
And even Smash wasn't even all that good on.
Yeah, that shit was trash. That shit is still trash.
So let's be real about that. It's just like
Smash Online
only
sucks.
game you
Mario
can functionally
Kart
play is
Online
Mario
is
Kart.
disguised. You see it's disguised so well.
Yeah.
Mario Kart is probably the
it's
best
just all-
thing.
Yes, but it's
it's
disguised
online
because you can
Yeah,
shoot,
you're right.
you can shoot your red shell and watch it phase through the guy in front of you, and they just
Lag
don't
compensation
miss
is
a beat.
great.
Yeah,
But
you know,
most people don't care about that, right? When you're playing Mario Kart, 9 times out of 10, if you're not us, you don't notice.
Yeah. I think it's good enough for them to like get away from the majority. Thing. But like something like Smash, nah.
But hey, there's still a bit crazy amounts of people playing that shit online to this day, right? So clearly,
because it's Smash and they don't have a choice.
Exactly, right. So that's why I said earlier that I feel like Sony is trying to take a page. Like, you know how these Japanese devs are. They got that ego, right? Where they think they could do what they want, and if no one complains about it, that means we got away with it. All right, that means we can continue to do it, and we can continue to stomp on our fucking fan base and all that shit, right? Like if no one complains, if enough people don't complain, we're good. But that's their metric. Like if people complain like, oh shit, wait a minute, but yo, cause you remember? Oh shit, remember? What was it? It was like a couple of years ago. They were gonna make it so there were certain games because they were removing games off of the PS store or something like that, or the what? It was something.
They were
yeah,
removing the PlayStation 3 store.
Yeah, and then what happened with that? There was a whole bunch of backlash, right?
Freaked out, bro. Like,
and then I think we talked about this before podcast days, right? Obviously, but we even talked about this. We were like, they would have just kept on going with that shit if no one complained about it. They would have just got away with it, and it would have been fine. Like, so it's like, man, that's
same thing that Xbox is going through now.
About. Like,
yeah,
Xbox is going through that now with the Xbox 360 store.
I said Gerard the completionist. Well, time to collect all the games again. Like, damn.
Yeah, but at least I think over the Gamescom weekend, I was listening to some Digital Foundry stuff that they're dropping. They said that they had an opportunity to speak with Phil Spencer, and that was brought up in the conversation. And he said that he's, aware, and they're trying to find some kind of solution in that regard, So
you know what's weird to me though? I guess it's because we're going through this is the first time that we're having to deal with stuff like this. This is the first time people are realizing that when you have an online service, right? The shit's going away one day. Like, it's gonna disappear one day. Like, period. There's nothing you can do about it. So I find it funny that people are going so crazy over stuff like that. Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like, game preservation, all that stuff. I get it, but that's just part of how it works. They're not gonna want to pay to keep these servers up and running for like the rest of fucking time, right? Obviously, they're gonna want to build new servers for new shit. They're gonna want to put that money somewhere else. Like, it costs shit tons of money to keep these servers up and running, to have all this old shit, all these old games running or whatever, right? So it's like, is that really that big of a deal? It is right now, because this is like the first time we're dealing with it, right? It's the first time that generation of games was the first generation where we could just go online and just download games and shit, right? That was the first generation where we could do that. So it makes sense. People don't know. People are like going crazy over it. But I'm like, in 10 years from now, that's like the norm, bro. All this shit's gonna disappear. So I don't understand. I don't understand the big deal about that.
I agree, but I think potentially like it can be a huge issue, depending on it depends on the titles that we're talking about, right? Because like you can depending on the game, you can pick up an NES and buy the games and get a CRT. It's hard to find certain things now. Some things the prices are skyrocketing because due to COVID, the hobby of game collection and retro gaming was on the rise. But ultimately, like that, some of that stuff is still available, right? But if we're talking about like the generation that we're having now, it doesn't matter whether you have a physical or digital copy of certain games. Some games are just completely unplayable at this time. And that's why the game conservation issue is a problem. Because if you look at other industries, if you look at something like movies, they don't have this issue. You can find a movie and play it and watch it depending on how you want to watch it. And even if it's been updated, remastered, or put on a new like platform, it's available. If you do that with a game, you can do that. They can be remastered versions of games on new consoles. Look at the Metal Gear collection. But if that game is just no longer serviceable, then it's unplayable, regardless of what platform you own it on. And that's the problem.
The thing is, no, the problem is that gaming is like in the stifled position where like gamers want to complain about it, things moving forward into like the digital era, but then it's like you do realize that the PlayStation Store is going away eventually. The Xbox Live, the 360 servers are going away eventually. Same with the PS4, same with the PS5, like a decade from now. Like, but then knowing this, people will still complain about, no, I don't want to pay a sub to fucking download games. I don't want to pay for like cloud-based shit. I get that. Like, I understand that one, because games and movies are totally different. Like, that's a totally different thing. You don't have to fucking download. You don't have to stream a 60 gig, 120 gig movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's different.
Not yet.
Like, so yeah, true. But like, that's the difference right now, at least in this moment in time. That's the difference. So I'm of the opinion where I've been all digital for like, this had to have been 10 years already. Like, I went all digital when PS4 dropped. I don't buy discs. I don't deal with that shit anymore. I know people want to buy. I know people are like, yeah, man, my physical copies, that's great. Sorry, but as the years go on, you're going to be in the smaller minority every single year. people like I like the convenience of downloading the game, and if it turns into that situation where it's like Xbox is trying to push the cloud stuff, and I could just fucking open up a menu, click on the game, and boom, I could play it right there like a Netflix. I'll take that. You know what I mean? Because that solves your issue right there, right? Like you put all your old shit. Sony puts all their old shit on PS Now, right? Hopefully when the shit is not ass, right? They put all this shit on PS Now. Okay, they shut down the PS4 servers. So what? I can access that content on PS Now on every other on my TV, on my console, on my PC, whatever, right? But gamers are like split, where half gamers are like, no, I don't want to play games on the cloud. I don't want gaming to be like Netflix. But then you complain when they want to close down the online stores because the servers are old and they don't want to keep the shit up anymore. Like you have to pick one. You literally have to pick one. Like you can't just be like a whiny babe. Like gamers are so entitled. It's ridiculous.
I think for me personally, this has nothing to do with gaming and more so internet infrastructure in our country.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we had the most up-to-date internet that is available in this world today, they could do that, and I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have a problem with it. Yeah. Because they'll work. I mean, it's the same reason why the Google what Stadia. I mean, one of the many reasons it failed, right? The infrastructure just was not there for it to work. It worked in maybe one town or two tops.
You got to think about it, right? Think about it like this. What had to happen for movies and TV shows to go that route? Companies had to come together and work on this technology together, right? And do this shit together. Obviously now they're all splitting off to make their own fucking services and all this other shit, right? Because they see the bag, right? But
Netflix changed the game in that
exactly.
aspect. Yeah.
So the thing is, we still in this gaming space have like people are still obsessed with like console wars and all this bullshit. And I'm like, yo, can Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo just come together and just give us a godlike cloud gaming service and just do something that works? Like,
yeah.
To this day, gamers are still like, it's like we used to hate back in the day that we used to get shit for playing video games because it was a niche thing to do, right? Then gaming is mainstream and everybody wants to act like a fucking like a hipster, like, oh my god, I played gaming before it was cool, oh my god, all that shit, right? Like, it's like, can people just stop being so entitled? Gamers are so entitled and like whiny that it's like kind of crazy to me. Like, embrace the fact that this is the future, bro. Like, digital is literally going to be the future. You're right. If our internet infrastructure isn't there yet, right? They can make that shit work somehow. Like, if they can make Netflix work, if they can make all this other shit work, they can make a cloud gaming service work. Yeah. Google Stadia was not bad.
It wasn't.
It's just nobody gave a fuck. Like,
it wasn't their whole structure.
They didn't market
was
it right, and nobody cared.
Yeah.
Like, but it worked.
NVIDIA like, Shield is probably not NVIDIA Shield. What's it? NVIDIA. They have
GeForce
probably
Now.
Yeah, the GeForce Now is probably the best thing going on that no one really knows about.
Yeah, like exactly. That's my point. Like, no one is taking that step forward to make it relevant enough for people to care, and then it's like you're caught in this weird position, right? Because no one cares yet, so why invest all this money into something that's going to be hit or miss? Like Stadia, you invest all this into something that eventually they had to shut down. Like a year later, I think it was, right? They shut that shit down in like a year. Like,
yeah, give or take.
So you invest all this money into something, it doesn't work. So then they think that that's not what people want. But it's like someone has to do what Microsoft did, where I know we all gave Xbox One shit during when PS4 dropped because Sony dropped the bomb on all that shit. That was great, but look at where we are now. We're literally where they wanted us to, where Microsoft wanted us to be during that launch, right? They were like DRM, always online games, all that shit, whatever. That's where we are now. That was literally the future when they announced that shit back then, and that's where we are. So I feel like someone has to be like that necessary evil to just be like, all right, we're doing this, boom, like, for it to work. And I don't see it happening because Sony's off fucking with their thumb up their ass, and then fucking Microsoft is like quietly. I feel like it's gonna be Microsoft to do it.
Well, like the thing is, and here's the other part of it too. When people originally bought the game, it's not like the game developers were like, "Oh yeah, this game is only available for like 2 years and then that's it." You know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. if game companies were more upfront about that fact, then like if it closed, like if someone told me like, oh, Grand Theft Auto this game is only gonna be live for 2 years during this period, and then and then that's it. And then if it goes out, I'll be bummed, but I'd be like, well,
yeah,
I know.
But they don't know that. Like, are you talking about like how Stadia was? Like,
well, I'm talking about games in general that you buy digitally and then they shut down. Like there's never anything that's like, oh, this game is being shut down someday. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing though. Like, I'll use a very recent example. Gundam Evolution came out last year, right? This time last year, and it shut down. It's shutting down what, November or October or whatever. Yeah. But most of the times when games like that shut down, we know far in advance. Like, we know. Look at the numbers on this game. No one's playing this game. I said that, bro. I said this last December, like 2 months after the game launched, that they're shutting this shit down next year. I literally said that shit last year, bro, because you could literally see the numbers dropping. So I feel like like if like if you're in tune, that shit's going.
But I'm not really talking about like, it's weird because like I am talking about only games online, but I'm also not talking about only games because there's certain digital games that fall in that gray spot that's like it is, but it isn't, but you still need you know what I mean? Like,
well, I can give an example because it was something that actually happened or it came up recently, and it's just aside from, I mean, like let's just put it this way, aside from pirating and emulation, right? Like those things exist and those things make it available, but like it's like having to go that route is essentially the issue of with games conservation, right?
Yeah.
So like, for example, there are some games that are absolutely held hostage or they're just gone that you cannot play anymore. And one of them being, we brought it up the other day, we're talking about it, was like, man, it'd be nice to go back and play a co-op Army of Two.
Army of Two, yeah.
Yep. And there's no other way to play that game right now unless you actually own a physical copy on PlayStation 3, since it's not on the digital store anymore or anything like that, or you emulate it. That's it. Yeah. Those are your options.
And you know what the answer to that is, right? Just
emulate?
Give us a cloud gaming service. Nah, yes, bro.
Cloud. No, cloud. Yeah, short answer is that.
Yeah, of course the answer is emulate, right? Like,
but
look, bro.
That's the pirating answer.
Listen, I'd be sailing the high seas, but like,
yes,
fucking
yar, maybe.
The answer is just stop being so whiny and just embrace the fact that this is the direction we're going in. Every time someone, what game was it? Was it Yakuza? It was Yakuza, right? That's only being released digitally, right? And then I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah. And I think I saw on Twitter. What happened? My fault. Go ahead.
Oh, they use it to keep the cost down, I believe, is what they said.
Yeah, like whatever the reason is, the stuff that I saw on Twitter was actually funny as shit. What the hell? Like the stuff that I saw on Twitter was kind of funny because people were saying, well, looks like they're not gonna get a sale from me if it's only digital, and I'm like, okay. Like,
I'm like, it's not gonna stop me. It's not gonna
stop. I don't understand. Like, that's the entitlement I'm talking about. Like, are you gonna never play a game again in 10 years from now when there are no physical copies of games? You just gonna not play games?
No,
like,
no, I don't believe that.
I think people are just gonna reluctantly
people are gonna be
transition,
subbing and then reluctantly just accept it. That's what they're gonna do.
And that's what has to happen. That's how we embrace new shit all the time, reluctantly, right? That's how it always happens. So I'm like, I don't know. I guess maybe gaming is too gaming is too special to me, where I just want to embrace whatever fucking works, man.
There's still going to be availability too, you know, what's that limited run games, they do special edition physical copies for things, so you know, like collectors are going to collect, and they're going to have that
80 years.
They're going to have that opportunity, but they're also going to be the minorities, so that will be their option. It will be available.
You know why I don't believe that? Because they can have collector's editions that don't have the game in it. Like, you know how many collector's editions I've bought?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Code?
You are right.
There's been a lot of games releasing now with collector's editions, and they say that they have a game case, but there's no disc in the game. It comes with a code.
Like, that's why I do not, like, I'm sorry, I feel like 15 years from now we're not gonna have.
But limited run games specifically does physical copies though. Like that, they're not doing.
Yeah, but what's your physical copy gonna do if the consoles don't support it?
That's a good point.
Listen, like, I'm telling you, like, there's no future. I don't believe, and y'all can quote me on this and hold me to this shit, I do not believe we're going to have disc drives in consoles It might not be next generation, but it'll definitely be the one afterwards. We're not gonna have disk drive consoles anymore.
Well, because it's obsolete technology at this point. Because the thing is, a disc only holds so much space, whereas you could just have a big ass hard drive in your thing. It just makes logically sense to just have everything be there.
I still love buying collector's editions of shit. Like, I just got the FF16 collector's edition, right? I didn't get that for the game. I got it because I wanted the figure and all the other extra shit, right? Give me the digital copy of the game. Cool, whatever, right? I get people want to see like their tower of game cases and shit, bro. I used to be like that until I realized that I could just click on a button and boom, I can start my game up. Or I could put something else. I could put something else in that spot where all those games were. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I got you. By the way, Nintendo, if you're hearing this, yeah, I would absolutely pay for Super Mario 35. So
I would absolutely pay for Nintendo to put their entire fucking back catalog on a service somewhere that doesn't suck.
Yes, please. And please don't only include like 10 games. I'd appreciate it. Thank
you guys know, I've been on the cloud wave for a long time. I've been playing Resident Evil Village on Switch.
Shut up, bro. Oh my god. Yeah, but that's actually, like, we laugh at it, but that's actually like a good example, right? When they first started doing that, I was like, okay, this is actually cool. Whether it works or not, obviously, you know.
Yeah, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's very bad. You know what I mean?
Like the first game that I tried, because remember, it was Control. Control was the first game that I tried on the Switch, and it was the first cloud based game I tried on the Switch, and it was not bad.
No,
like, obviously, you know, if you have worse internet, it might be, but it worked. It functioned, right? So I was like, damn, this is actually, like, this solves a lot of problems. First of all, if you have a Switch, but you know that controller is not running on no damn Switch, bro. Like, it might at 15 FPS with like N64 graphic settings and all that shit, right? It might, but 9 times out of 10, like, most of these games are not gonna run on the Switch. Especially this generation of games on PS5 and all this shit, probably not gonna run on the Switch, right? But having access to it on the Switch via cloud is actually pretty sick. Now, obviously, it needs to work. That's the problem. Like,
yeah, and we're in the generation of the working those kinks out. But like, it eventually, at some point, I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we'll get there. I think, hopefully.
We're going there.
Like, we're going there.
Because what was
we'll get there.
What was the whole reasoning behind? See, this is why I kind of was interested in the Sony handheld thing, is because they said that it wasn't supposed to just be a PlayStation, a remote play thing. They were going to try to test out their new cloud service on this thing, right? Which still might be true, but they haven't said anything about it. But I think it was like 3 years ago, Sony acquired like some cloud-based shit or whatever, and they said nothing of it. They did nothing with it, so people were assuming that this is what they were going to try to use it on, which would make sense, right? Like, cloud gaming on that thing. I wouldn't pay $199 for cloud gaming on that when I could just do cloud gaming on anything else. But that's a good idea. I tried the Xbox Live Ultimate, the cloud stuff, and it worked surprisingly well. I played what did I play? I think it was Halo 5. Yeah, I was playing Halo 5 on that, and it was great. So I'm like, if more money and attention went into this stuff, it would work probably pretty well. Well, whatever. I give it like 5 years, right? 3 to 5 years, and that technology would be great.
I don't think they're there yet, but yeah,
they're not there to make it a mainstream thing yet. Absolutely not. But it's coming. Like, it's gonna happen, and that's the answer to your game preservation thing, right? Like, they can shut down whatever servers they want as long as the fucking shit is still there, right? Like, I'm trying to think of an example. Has this happened before in, like, for shit like movies and stuff? Actually, it has happened. When remember when Disney Plus came out and they were removing all the Marvel movies and all that shit from like Netflix and all that stuff, just to put it on Disney Plus because they wanted their own server and stuff like that, right? People were mad about that. Oh, we gotta pay for a new service just to watch the shit that was already on Netflix and shit. And I'm like, you say that, but then when Disney Plus dropped, everybody subbed to that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was no one. Everybody was paying for Disney Plus like that first year, and then Nobody was complaining after that. Yeah, that shit dropped significantly. But like, but you get my point though. Like,
yes.
So
Sorry,
like,
I keep track of the. I keep track of all.
Oh yeah. Like that shit is sad, but whatever, man. We're going that way. Stop being bitches.
Yeah. All right. Anything else we want to talk about? I don't know. I felt like we talked about a lot.
All right, bitches, I'm out of here.
I mean, after that, I mean, what else is there to talk about? I mean, we can continue to talk about Mario.
I mean,
Wonder.
there's a bunch to talk about, but
there is a bunch to talk about.
I feel like everything we wanted to talk about was kind of summed up in that entire conversation. We just
kind of was.
Like we were going to talk about Mario Wonder not having online. It fit into what we were just talking about. Like, so I don't know, man. I just want people to stop complaining because I want gaming to be the best that it can be, as accessible as it can be.
Yeah, but the people will never complain, even if they don't have anything to complain about. People
always complain, but I want it to the point where even though people are complaining, you still gonna have to deal with it. Like the point I made, like, bruh, if you really are so against digital games, right, and being digital only, I want you in 10 years from now, when you can't buy physical discs anymore, I want you to like keep that same energy and just stop playing games. Like, you know it's not gonna happen. That shit is not gonna happen. Like, so just shut up and just do what you gotta do to play the game that you enjoy playing. Just shut the fuck up.
They'll just keep replaying their old games.
Yeah, keep playing the last game that you got, the last disc you bought. Keep playing the last disc you got 80 years ago. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
The only last comment. Yep. The only last comment I was gonna make on Wonder is that I'm really bummed out about the no online co-op. And then like, even if they like had the shitty online from the Mario 3D World, I'll take that.
That wasn't even that bad. You had something that ran like, well. Why not just have that as part of the game? Like, yeah, we did play the entire game through it. Like, fine, co-op. Why is it only local co-op and online this race ghost?
You know why? Because Nintendo's lazy. That's
they went Super Mario Maker 2 with it, where it's like you only.
Yeah, what the hell?
Well, not even that, because Mario Maker 2 had co-op, but that was shit. That online was atrocious.
But listen. What do you expect to have multiplayer? Mario Maker 2 or a mainline Mario game? I would expect Mario Wonder to have online over a Mario Maker 2. That's surprising to me. Like,
I mean, their route is just puzzling.
I mean, Nintendo just needs to work on their online infrastructure 100%.
Because the weird part is, you would think that Mario Wonder would be an easier game to code online for than Mario
3D World. Yeah, it would be. It's only 2D.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird to me. But I do feel like this game isn't really meant to be that game. I feel like they kind of cut corners on it because they're probably working on the fucking new Mario game right now. Yeah, they're probably coming out with the new Switch or whatever.
With the new system. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably just did whatever they could and just put this shit out, capitalize off of the Mario movie hype and all that shit. And
just let them see other people's ghosts at the same time, so they feel like they're playing together. Bro. You know, then they'll be happy.
We that on the Wii, bro. That's some Wii tech. Come on, bro.
Yep. We'll see, man.
I wonder what it's gonna be like to play with my friends.
Yeah, right. Come on, bro.
Bro, it's gonna be a dream, bro. We're gonna lie down like, bro, let's play Mario Wonder together. We're gonna dream it up. We're gonna sleep, and then we're gonna pretend in this imaginary world that we're playing together at the same time.
But you already know what we're doing.
I mean, there are ways. I mean,
tune in,
ways,
guys.
Suck it.
But it does suck that we have to go through all those avenues and Nintendo can't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because I bet the way we're doing it would probably run better than each game had online anyway. Like,
it would run better, but I'm just saying, like
crazy, man.
But the point is like we shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
No, but
you know what I'm saying?
The Kangs do what Nintendo don't.
I mean, what's Sony? We have to do what everybody don't at this point. Fucking Sony is shitting themselves. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I don't know, man. It's just like, why are you stopping me from giving money? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, that's always my question. I'm like, why are you not just? Where's Bloodborne? Where's the Bloodborne something at, bro? You have all this stuff that you could just put out, and people would be like, oh my god, their wallets would just spread open. Like, I don't understand. Like, I want to understand. Like, give me the reason. If someone could just come out and just be like, this is exactly why we're not doing this, I'd be like, all right, cool. Even if the reason made sense or not, I'll be like, all right, cool. At least they're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like,
man, and you know what? Like, there's some people. Ruben Prime was saying that new hardware could solve this, like the whole online infrastructure. But here's the thing:
we've been saying that every generation since the Wii.
Yeah. And Nintendo's doing this intentionally. They could have fixed this problem 80 years ago if they wanted to. This is like a design choice. It was the same shit where all the FGC developers were kind of like talking shit about everyone during that Japanese meeting, and then they were like, "Yeah, we'll roll back these freaking American idiots." Like that was their perspective, bro. Like literally. So like, if you leave it up to them, it's got to be up to regular people. Like there has to be enough blow up about this that bro. Like people are just like, and even then Nintendo might not give a shit because they're in movies now. They don't give a fuck about the games.
Let's go back, right? The Wii dropped. No Ethernet port. Had to buy a LAN cable, a LAN adapter for the Wii, right? We said, oh shit, the Wii U's dropping. Cool. That means we're gonna have an Ethernet port on the back. Great. Online's gonna be better. Great. No, same shit. Needed an Ethernet adapter. Same shit, bro. Then we were like, oh man, the Switch is coming out. Nintendo definitely learned from the Wii U flop, right? They learned. We'll be all right.
Nope.
Still, same exact shit. No Ethernet port on the Switch dock. Still need a LAN adapter to at least have semi-functional online on shit like Smash, right? So, yeah, hardware could definitely solve the issue. But does Nintendo care? No. Like, what the fuck? Like,
no, absolutely not.
Like they don't care. Like, you would think that as the new consoles come out, as the fucking technology advances, that we'll be getting some new shit, right? They'll learn from the last generation. No. When does that ever happen? Like, it has not happened for Nintendo in like over a decade.
You have to force Nintendo to do it. And honestly, there's not enough.
Can anybody force Nintendo? Exactly. Can anybody force Nintendo to do anything at this point?
No, because there's not enough people willing to rebel. Just like there's not enough people not willing to not buy Pokemon games, so the game is better overall.
Yeah, and I'm part of the problem.
But yeah, idiots like you every year.
Yeah, I buy them just every year. Yep.
No, the Nintendo ninjas get you to do what they want. That's
look, bro. Look, I'm gonna buy every Smash. I'm gonna buy every Mario Kart. I'm gonna buy every fucking Nintendo console. I'm gonna buy every Pokemon, whatever, man. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like they're fucking gods. They're idiots. Like they're doing stupid shit. But they got their movie now, so hey, they don't care. They have even less. They have even more of a reason to not care now. Like that's the scary part.
Like for them,
like, they don't have to care at all now.
For them not to care, their next two movies have to flop. And not only that, but their next two game projects have to flop, which is no way that's happening.
Because we needed the Wii U for the Switch to exist, bro. Because if that wasn't for that Wii U, they would have still been doing some fuck shit. But whatever. Like, my thing is, I thought the same thing about Mario Wonder, bro. Like when the Switch came out, right? They had all these games. Mario Kart obviously had online. Smash had online. What else? ARMS online, right?
Which I heard ran pretty well, actually.
Yeah. ARMS was okay. All these other Splatoon 2 and 3, right? Online, all this stuff. A lot of shit. So then Mario 3D World came out. It was a port. They didn't have to add online to it. They did, right? And I assumed I was like, okay, this is a cool direction they're going in. Maybe all their other like multiplayer games will have co-op in the future, right? Because they learned. No, nah, they didn't, because they launched another co-op Mario game. Doesn't have online. They launched what was it? The Kirby game, the 4-player co-op Kirby game. No online. Fucking like what is this? There was something else, but we don't have to get into that. But if there's anyone that we can just assume nothing about, it's Nintendo, because we don't know what the hell is going on in their fucking heads. I have no idea. So I will never assume that the next console that they make is going to be any different from the one we have right now. Like, I have no reason to believe that the Switch 2 is going to be like a godsend. Like, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen.
No, like, it's not going to happen at all.
Shit, they probably going to launch that shit without an Ethernet port in the dock again, bro. Like,
yo, you guys want to wait. Like, you guys want to make a bet? You want to make a bet?
I mean, listen, I don't think they can get away with that.
I wouldn't bet against it.
Because they already have the OLED. The Switch OLED has a thing on the dock, right? I'm pretty sure the Switch OLED has an Ethernet port on the dock.
They can just release a Switch OLED too with an Ethernet port on the dock.
Yeah, you're right. And they also are not releasing the Switch 2 with an OLED screen. So there we go. That proves my point. You assume that we were like, oh man, we got the Switch OLED. Damn, that the next console must have an OLED screen. Of course not. Like, even though it's a rumor, right? We don't know for sure, but knowing Nintendo, they would do some backward shit like that. So,
you know what? No. Hold up. I'm pissed off. It just dawned on me that there are multiple co-op games being released today. No online co-op.
Yeah, great.
Double Dragon Gaiden. No online co-op. God damn.
Sonic Superstars.
Sonic Superstars. No online co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Mario game. No online co-op. Like, you realize it's a co-op game, and we're in a completely different.
Yeah, here's my problem with that, right? With Sonic and Mario specifically. Double Dragon, well, let me not say Double Dragon, but some games I can understand, like, if you tell me that the budget wasn't there, right? You could say that. You could make an excuse for some types of games, right? That the budget wasn't there to include online play. Bro, you just named a Sonic and a Mario game. Bro, the budget is always there for fucking Sonic and Mario games. Why is there no online in these shits? There's literally no excuse. Like, you can't say that, it wasn't in the budget. We didn't have the budget to include online in a Mario game.
But the fuck out of here, bro. But the thing is, I don't even excuse that, because it's like for a co-op game, it's literally co-op. Yeah, why would that not be the focus over anything else? Like, the game could be complete shit, but the online listen, after playing, which is interesting, after playing Ninja Turtles, that, like, if you're releasing a beat 'em up co-op game or any co-op game after that game, how they were able to get 6 players work seamlessly online, same time.
Who's doing
bunch
Double
of
Dragon?
bullshit going on.
Who's doing the Double Dragon?
I don't know, some small company, some small devs. Yeah. But still, it's like but the thing is, if you're an indie dev, you chose to make that type of game.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could have chose to make literally any other game, but you chose Double Dragon Calm. So what's the expectation that I have, especially after playing Ninja Turtles?
Bro, I wouldn't even let's not even talk about Ninja Turtles. Let's just talk about fucking the past 3 years, period. Yeah. We live in a different age. We live in a different era now.
Co-op doesn't exist for some people anymore.
Like, post-COVID age we are living we literally just watched a fucking, like, complete shift in this era, right? We're in a new era right now after COVID. It was pre-COVID, where, you know, people were still not fucking. Let me stop. All right, anyway, we have post-COVID, right? And to launch with a game that does not have online functionality, a multiplayer game without online functionality, is ridiculous. Like, remember we were talking about, like, this whole thing happened with fighting games, right? Where before COVID, before it was forced upon people, before, if your game didn't have rollback or if it didn't have good netcode, your shit, nobody was buying your shit, right? Before that, online was trash in these games. They didn't care. They didn't have a reason to care. But now, post-COVID, if your game doesn't have rollback, if your game doesn't, like, function well online, it's getting big. People are dragging that shit through the mud, right? They're gonna make you go back and delay the game and add rollback into a fighting game. Now, could you picture a fighting game launching within the next year without, like, rollback or anything like that?
There's no way none of that could ever happen because of Street Fighter 6. Like, nothing.
Yeah, it can't.
It can't.
So it's like, I don't like, every game, every online game, we're in a different era where every game that is co-op should have online. Every game that is like any type of multiplayer game needs to be what cross-play, right? This is a huge one for me, because I don't understand how this is not a thing right yet. Obviously, it's growing, right? But for things to still launch and not be cross-play, to me, is the dumbest shit. Because y'all remember, I said this back in 2019 when Call of Duty, was it Modern Warfare? It was 1, right? It was the first one. Yeah, it was Modern Warfare 2019. That shit had crossplay, bro. Like, a Call of Duty game has crossplay. I think that's big, right? Because that was one of the only games at the time that actually had it.
That was huge. I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, this is crazy. This is literally, that right there should have been the stepping stone for everything else, right? Yeah, Call of Duty got crossplay. Oh shit, every game had to have crossplay now. We're still getting games nowadays with no fucking crossplay. And I'm like, people will literally not buy games now because if it doesn't have crossplay. Like every time that they announce the game, they'd be like, "Does it have crossplay?" Nah, I'll wait till it has crossplay in it. Like, I don't know, man. It's a different age, bro. Motherfuckers need to adapt.
Cross-playing opens up so many opportunities. Yeah. Right? Like the opportunity to play with friends and all that. Sorry.
Right. The only excuse I could kind of give for not providing crossplay is like if the game won't run on the Switch, let's just say for argument's sake, but it'll run on the other systems, then I would just exclude the Switch, right? Like, sorry, this shit can't run.
Well,
right?
Yeah, excluding it for a technical reason is fine. But see, here's the thing, right? When I mention crossplay, I don't even include the Switch, to be honest.
No, right, but automatic. Yeah. But I just wanted to clarify for
Yeah.
Because there's always someone.
Crossplay
right?
is usually what? PC, PS4, Xbox.
Yep.
Like, on PlayStation, Xbox. I don't know why I keep saying PS4. Yep. But PlayStation, Xbox, PC, right? And there's still games that are launching without that shit. And I'm like, that to me, I don't know, man. Like I said,
man,
this post-COVID stuff, there are things that are mandatory, like period. And I feel like you're either just out of touch or you're just lazy if you don't have good online, crossplay, and I mean, there's other stuff, but I can't think of it off the tongue right now.
Yeah, and even if you're not, that's the perception, right?
Yeah,
like
that's it. Like it's mandatory now.
I mean, like even now, right? Like for example, I'll bring up Ninja Turtles again, and I'll bring up Streets of Rage 4. Like, if I had to choose between those two games, I would choose Streets of Rage 4 is the deeper, better game, and I enjoy it, and it's something I would always come back to. But nowadays, I can't even come back to that shit because that online is ass. Yeah. Online is ass. You can play online with two people, but you can't. Yeah, we did. But then after seeing what Ninja Turtles was able to do, now the only thing every time I play that game, in my head I'm going, well, why didn't they just put this shit in Streets of Rage 4? Why like literally, so like now I just don't play the game, and I love that game, still play it.
So it's like I don't know, man. Like there are things that, and I feel like crossplay isn't really that hard to implement.
Well, I don't know.
All parties are on board.
Yeah, like, that's the only obstacle. All parties just need to be on board.
But that's the issue for the longest time. Sony being retarded.
Yeah, like, but I don't think that's an issue anymore, right? I don't know.
Well, it's not the issue because Xbox has Call of Duty to the neck.
Yeah, but I mean, there's been a lot of games that have launched crossplay.
Well, also
recently.
Sony was getting so much bad press from that shit. They just gave in. Remember
when it was Xbox getting all the bad press? Damn, man, isn't it great to see fucking shit?
Oh, and one last comment about the co-op thing. So the Ninja Turtles game, their previous game that they made was the Scott Pilgrim port, which absolutely sucked ass. Damn. So if that company was able to fix it and make it that well, then there's no excuse.
Look, listen, bro. If modders can add multiplayer to single player games, these multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar corporations have no fucking excuse. I don't give a crap what the reasoning is. If a random modder sitting at home on at his desk,
no programming experience, by the way.
No, I mean most of them do have programming experience.
Well, but it's more by like trial and error, not necessarily like
you know exactly. I mean? Like they're at home, they probably like self-teaching themselves, or they're probably like college students learning the shit, right? And if they can do that shit, I don't like, bro. So Bomb Rush Cyberpunk just dropped. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago? I don't remember. But
yeah,
it just dropped. It's a single player game, right? A couple days later, a random modder adds multiplayer to the game. Boom, just like that.
Yep.
Literally just like that, adds multiplayer to the game. And I download it and it works and it's great, right? And I'm like, why didn't they just add that themselves? Like clearly it's not hard. Like why didn't they just add this shit themselves? So another game was fucking Elden Ring, right? We all talk about Souls games and all that shit, primarily a single player experience, right? Most of the time, people buy those games to play alone, right? You have your multiplayer like aspects to it, but Elden Ring drops, right? It has the typical janky ass From Software matchmaking and shit. You know what I mean? And then a modder comes out and makes the game seamless co-op. like drop in, drop out, seamless callback. I'm like, so this random ass modder does this shit, but these guys with crazy amounts of money, big ass fucking teams working on these games, they can't add this shit themselves. Like, what is that?
Welcome to Game Developer 2023, my guy.
What is that?
There has to be some specific reason with it. If a modder is able to do it in a day, it's something that development teams, that means they purposely made the choice to not do it. So what is the reason for not doing it?
That is exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And another example was a couple weeks ago. I don't know if we talked about this, but a couple weeks ago, PS5 people hacking PS5s, right? So you can run like Bloodborne, Red Dead 2, all these other
60 FPS
at like above 100 FPS apparently now, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, so modders are doing this shit. You have to hack a PS5 to do this shit, but they just released a port of a game that's like 80 years old. But you know, I'm getting tight. I'm actually getting mad. I'm actually getting mad now because I'm still thinking about Bloodborne, bro. Like, I downloaded Bloodborne the other day. I played it on my PS5, bro. That shit launched like how many years ago? It had to have been over 6 years ago, right? That game launched that so long ago. I turned it on my PS5. The game runs like ass. But I could hack my PS5 right now for free, right? Obviously, I gotta do a little work, whatever. I could hack my PS5, flip a switch, and then have the game running the way I wanted to have it running. But you telling me that FromSoft can't do that? Sony can't do that? What is that? Like, I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's just disappointment, bro.
What else? And I'm gonna bring up one more example. Something else just launched on the Switch. What was it? Something just launched recently on the Switch.
Red Dead Redemption?
Red Dead again. Yeah. Red Dead 1. So, apparently you can hack the Switch, overclock it slightly, and the game runs at 60 FPS, no problem on the fucking Switch. Why couldn't they do that? Is it hello? Like, I don't know, man. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that is just screams laziness to me.
Yo, low key. Low key, I hope they put in that co-op mod in Armored Core because I want to play like single player like shit, but like
that would be sick too.
Yeah. I know there's the PvP, but you know what I'm saying.
That game sold a lot apparently from what I heard, which is kind of wild. I heard it's doing really well.
We have a lot of questions, and there's a lot of answers that we don't have. Hopefully one day we may be able to get some devs to come on this podcast and be able to just
get big enough so I can just demand
answers.
Yep.
So what happened? Why can't you do the shit?
Y'all remember this shit? Y'all remember making me wait for Bloodborne 2 and a Bloodborne remake for 80 years when all you had to do was flip a switch and just make it 60 FPS and I wouldn't have said shit? Like,
we'll have them on to answer to the council and grill them with all your questions. But guys, that's gonna do it for the listening portion of the podcast. Well, it's probably gonna end the stream as well. But yeah, we'll be continuing to debate till day's end, because once the Sparrow gets on a rant, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, he ain't stopping. So we got plenty of material for next week and the weeks to come in. So we will be back again next week with another hot episode. Maybe rebranded by then, may not. Listen, just stay tuned and find out. But we'll catch you boys next week.
Yeah, rebranding on me, shit. I'm still gonna be ranting. Same shit.
I just press a button in my chest.